Students really do take a very active role in our Senate. I mentioned 19 committees. The vast majority of those committees have student members. The few that don't are very faculty focused. For the most part, students are in every committee, and I feel like that's where students have a big voice.
Working with administrators at Ohio State has been wonderful. I've become a lot of my best mentors. We met with Dr. J every single week, so our Senior Vice President of Student Life. Meet with her every single week. She's in her 10th year here, so she's been through 10 years of USG leaders and knows what goes well at the university and doesn't go well. That's been amazing. President Drake, we meet with the president and the provost once a month or as needed, or on phone calls if there's things happening. This week, actually, is the 50th anniversary of a protest that happened on campus in 1968. Students were expelled from that, and his idea was to bring them back on campus and let's talk about it. And so he clearly has a passion for student voice and making sure that students know what that means at Ohio State.
We have about 90-ish unique students and roughly 130 unique positions. So that includes 26 undergraduate senators on the university senate, and then the rest of those positions, the other 110 being on all sorts of various committees in the university.
How do we then communicate to students just how unique our position is? Once you start to have a more personal conversation with a student and explain just how our structure works and how we actually have seats at the table and seats with votes too, they're better able to understand that the real power of student government is even outside of what happens in cabinet and General Assembly. And with that, they're more inclined to share their stories and share their experiences and their ideas for how we can do a better job. I think a lot of times, regardless of the seat at the table, a lot of times students just want to be heard and have somebody listen to their experience and their story and know that there's somebody who has their back and is continuously advocating for them. And that's something that we've definitely seen at Ohio State.
It really starts with a real commitment to our students and the student voice and understanding that this is really about student development. And so it really starts internally. We know that this is important work. And so, yes, we do look at it as a national way of modeling to others that you can engage students, and that it's not only that you can, that you should, that you must, and that when you do, it changes not only the environment, but it changes the work that we do and the success that you should have, because student engagement is really why we do this work.
I almost think that for much of the university, it's just in the water, and we don't think, oh, we're doing something really unique and different. We've been doing it for a long time, and so I don't think we recognize it necessarily as unique as it is.
We have 2 student members of the Board of Trustees who have voting rights, and they're looked at as equal peers. Being able to have candid conversations and trust that students will be understanding towards the limitations that affect Ohio State or that affect higher education overall, and being able to be treated as equal partners in this decision-making process, both in the short and long term. And I think the long term is a key component that sometimes is forgotten because, as students, we aren't going to be here 50 years from now. But at Ohio State, we still had a seat at the table when we were starting to negotiate this 50-year energy privatization contract or a parking deal or different things like that, and that are going to impact students for generations to come.
With energy, I think the faculty weren't really paying attention until the students started raising hell a little bit about it. And then more and more people got involved. So I'd say they had a big voice in that whole decision. And they were on all the committees that did all the deciding too, by the way. Pay attention. Pay attention to the students. Listen to them. They work hard and they want to be taken seriously. And, I think that's it. You just listen to people and show a little respect.
student voice is crucial because if you think about it, students are the front end stakeholders in these conversations that we're talking about with higher education, with Ohio State in particular. And when you bring them to the table, and when you also do everything in your power to empower the other students who aren't at the table, that's how you get the best idea of what direction to move in and how to best create a path that these front end stakeholders will then be able to best utilize.